One of the things that was quite interesting earlier on in our discussion was you talked about clean language. Could you explain what clean language is?
Clean language is a method for allowing the client to really connect with their experience of what it is that they're experiencing, and more importantly, it's a method of communication where I get to remain as the coach, say, I get to remain content free. So I have no direct input into what it is into how it is they're experiencing their experience, or how they relate to that experience. But I'm able to interview what's good out and recognize what's bad, and then we can separate the two and we can work with the positives then, if that makes sense.
Yes, yeah. And I think I relate to that through the way that I operate in the classroom with students. When you become more focused on them, you want to listen to what they're talking about and what interests them, so you can engage with, so you're taking the lead from them, not the other way around. And I think that's something similar to what you're talking about there.
Like it's important. What's important about it is that when we use languages and metaphors and descriptions of how it is we're experiencing our own experiences. For example, if you were, just create this imaginary example that we're engaging in a conversation, I'm asking you what's that like, and the word you use to describe that experience is like curtains, right? I know that's completely ridiculous, but that word will mean something to you. The words that we use, it's kind of like that iceberg analogy, when you've got the word that we use, we see the tip of the iceberg, but the conceptualization of what that word means to us is all underneath the water, kind of thing.
Yeah,
so
curtain's interesting because it's putting a shade in front, it's hiding something behind. So maybe that's a good.
Well, that could well be. See, I never drew that comparison there. That was just what I seen. But if someone was to use that when I was, we were in a coaching session, then it would be vital. It would be remiss of me if I was not to incorporate that word in. Because then if I didn't reuse the word curtains, relay back their experience to them, and I was to perhaps attempt to reframe it, and they would just say curtains, and I went curtains. So it's a closing then. No, that wasn't the word they used. That wasn't their experience. Yeah. Their experience was curtains.
Curtains, yeah. So you're mirroring their language.
It's kind of mirroring, yes. It would be kind of mirroring, yeah.
And that's a useful way of...
Well, see, whenever you said mirroring, I was thinking of the NLP mirroring, which is said to be a way of building instantaneous rapport. That if I wanted to connect with you, I would make the same gestures as you, I would sit the same way as you, and I would nod as you nod, and use your name as much as I can, and all these sorts of things. But I think it's more like a feedback loop, and reconfirming their experience back to them, or echoing it back, if that makes sense. But it's important that prior to getting into that, we can draw out what's positive. We can establish what their subjective experience of what is good, and we can work with that. If that makes sense, I know it's a wee bit.
No, I think that does, and I think that's really quite a good way of looking at it. Just to draw things to a kind of conclusion then, what I normally would do at this point is ask, is there anything else I didn't give you the opportunity to say that you'd like to say? And is there anything practical you'd like to do because from the magician's perspective, or would you like to keep that separate?
No, I'd happily perform something now, if you would like.
Well, again, what I was trying to do there was say, is it kind of, I suppose it's the same technique you're using. What would you like to do? What would you like? Is there anything you'd like to say or anything you'd like to?
I'd like to perhaps re-emphasize the point that as a hypnotist and a developmental coach, it's important that we recognize the differences. To go back, we started this whole conversation regarding differences. And I think in making changes in your own life, that is the key component to any sort of successful change, is recognizing those incremental differences And there's a saying that it's the difference that makes the difference. But I also have, it's almost like a hobby for me now, but I really enjoy magic and mentalism, and because there's a lot of psychological components to it, and there's ways and means of communication that are interesting to me, nothing more than interesting. So we'll do something now.
Okay.
As a magician, they would normally have a deck of playing cards of some sort and ask you to pick a card, but I just want you, I think may have seen me perform something similar, but just want you to imagine we have a deck of cards here, and you can hold the deck of cards in this hand.
That's all right.
And as you look at the deck of cards, we're going to go through a very quick process of elimination. When I snap my fingers, only whenever I snap my fingers, I just want you to say picture cards or say number cards. So when I snap my fingers, say picture cards or say number cards.
Picture cards.
Picture cards it is. So with the picture cards, we have the men and the women. We've got the kings and the jacks and the queens. We're going to burn some cards. Which cards do you want to burn? The men or the women?
Men.
Men are gone. I want you to imagine that we set a light to the women, the 4 queens. Which ones can you see burning the quickest? The red queens, which is the queen of diamonds and the queen of hearts, or the black queens, the queen of clubs and the queen of spades?
Sorry, the black ones?
You can see them burning quickest.
Yeah.
So that's the ones we're going to need to see of them. We're going to need to see of one of the black queens. So you've got the queen of clubs and you've got the queen of spades. I want you to imagine that you reach up and you grab one of those. See of one. Whichever one you see of, that's the one we're going to use. The queen of spades or the queen of clubs. See of one.
Mm-hmm.
Which one did you see of?
Actually tell you?
Yeah.
Yep. Queen of spades.
Queen of spades. Queen of spades. It's interesting. Inside my pocket, I have a matchbox.
Mm-hmm.
Because I have burnt a deck of cards, and I see of one cards from that burning deck. If you want to put your hand out.
Okay. Ooh, do I just put it out?
Yeah. Take the paper clip off. You can see it's
slightly burnt as well.
slightly burnt, yeah.
It's really interesting. So look at that.
There's a queen of spades, yeah.
Let's just bring that to that camera so they can actually see. Brilliant. There we go. Excellent. That is amazing. Yeah. It's actually amazing because I remember the last time we did it, there was a king of clubs that came out.
Yeah.
So I wanted to make sure I didn't go in that direction. But that's actually very fascinating. That's fantastic. David, thank you very much for spending the time with me.
It's been a pleasure, George. Thank you for
inviting me. I've really enjoyed seeing you.
Thank you very much.
Hopefully look forward to seeing you again at some point. Thanks very much. We have more on the way, so please subscribe to this channel and check out the link below if you'd consider becoming a patron to help us keep making more content. Thanks for watching.